Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on Friday nights for our watchers live stream. So happy to be here with you guys. And of course, we got Coriander with me and Sarah hanging out. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Hey.
Yeah, good to have you. And look, for you guys in the chat, thank you guys for showing up and getting ready to hang out with us as we continue our what we're calling the Hall of Villains, and we're ranking every major horror villain that we could think of, and we still have a whole bunch left. And so this will be a lot of fun. And real quick, we've got a knock at the door, so let's bring in our good buddy. You guys know him, you guys love him. It's our brother Steven from Craving Something Scary. Hey,
Hey, how we doing tonight?
Hey. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
That worked out
great.
really well.
It did. Good
Absolutely.
to see y'all.
Good to see you too,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick in the chat, we got Paula in the house. What's up? We got RJ saying this is going to be a great one. Well, thank you so much. That's what we hope too. Yeah. Ben's in the house saying let's get ready to rumble. We got Scott. What's up, Scott? We got Pierre in the house with us again. Pierre, one of our newest viewers, channel members, everything. Coming to the live streams. Love it. Thank you so much. We got Kenny in the house. What's up, Kenny? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got Gene. What's up? Good to see you, Gene. All right. Julie saying, hey, everyone, can't stay very long. We're leaving soon to go see Alien. There you go. All right. Have some fun. We got Jado in the chat. What's up? Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. We got Russell in the house. What's up, Russell?
Hello.
Good to have you here as well. All right. We got Melissa and we've got Alan saying hello, everyone. Hey, good to see you. For everyone jumping in, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us and we'd appreciate it. And we'll keep an eye on that, but I think we're doing pretty good so far. So guys, we've been going through all these villains, and so far we've gone through 40 villains.
Wow.
40 villains, okay? And what we've been doing, for any of you guys that are newer here that haven't seen us when we've been doing this villain ranking, is we have our wheel where we're going to spin and see what villain it lands on. And I think in total we probably had about 60. So it was crazy. But when it lands on that villain, that means that we're going to score that villain. Okay. And we have multiple categories. We've got the franchise category, meaning if they've done multiple movies, what would we give the franchise score overall between 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the absolute highest. Okay. There are no 0.5s in this. Okay. So this one's a little bit different. I know you love those 0.5s, but man, I'm the one calculating this. So it's, so anyways, so franchise is our first category. Our second category is the scare factor. Okay. So basically just taking the villain, taking the situation that the characters are in the movie, putting ourselves in there and just rating the scare factor of said villain. And the third and final category is our favorite film that they have. So especially if it's a franchise, you would pick your favorite film and what's the score that you would give that film. Again, a score of 1 to 10. Just to let you guys know some of the folks that we've had so far, because we've had tons of them. I'll give you guys a little bit of a little treat to kind of see them up on the screen. I'm going to bring them up here. And also some of our scores, which we haven't actually put that out there much outside of the live streams themselves. So here is our half of our list anyways. We've had, as you can see, Ghostface, Pinhead, Norman Bates, Samara from, I always do that, from The Ring. We've got Megan, the Predator, The Fly, the Headless Horseman, Frankenstein's Monster, The Blob, The Strangers, Candyman, Wishmaster, Leatherface, Annie Wilkes, The Blair Witch, The Nun, The Wolfman, Jack Torrance, Esther, Chucky, Kane, Jigsaw, Maxine, Captain Spaulding, Carrie, and Harry Warden. Okay.
Wow.
So we've done a lot, and we've done more than that. That's just about 60% of the list. So,
Hmm.
and we've had the scores put up there. We've also allowed people in the chat, you guys here, that you also can give us your score if you send in a super chat. So that's been a lot of fun too, taking some of you guys' score into the official score. So, anyways, what have you guys been thinking about this so far? I'll start with you, Steven. Has this been interesting to you as far as how this is all kind of weighed out?
Yeah, it's real interesting. I've enjoyed it a lot,
Oh,
because
good.
it's a unique way to, like, how do you compare all these different villains that are vastly different a lot of times
Right.
from each other, and how do you rank them fairly? And I think that the criteria you came up with is a way we can actually do that without, it being biased or towards a different person, like Michael versus Jason, right? Where you have
Mhm.
your natural preferences and things. We're just looking at each person individually,
Right.
and I like that. And so I'm enjoying it a lot. And I think when it's all over with, just like the Halloween great debates, I think we might be surprised when what the numbers show at
Yeah.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Coriander, any thoughts from you about what's been going on with these scores?
It's been interesting to see how everybody, feels about
Mhm.
these horror villains. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with how much you said we've got how many more?
I haven't actually counted them out, but it's probably at least 20.
Wow, okay. So we still have a
Yeah.
few more to do.
Oh, we do.
Well,
Yes, we do.
nice.
Yep,
Nice.
absolutely. How
Hey, at
about you,
night,
Sarah? Yeah.
you just to say, you mentioned earlier, you almost said Samara Weaving. Got me to
Mhm.
thinking, you could actually still add Samara Weaving as the babysitter villain from the babysitter movie in Netflix. Just
That's
saying,
true. That
she
is
was
true, man.
awesome. She was
That is
good.
true. That is very true. That's a good one, Steven. How about you, Sarah? Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's been really interesting for a couple reasons. The first, it's kind of similar to what Steven said, and it's similar to what we're doing with like the Halloween debates. But like, we may love one of the horror icons, but they might have like a kind of crappy franchise. So it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
interesting to see how that's going to work. But it's also nice too, because I find we always talk about the same maybe 6 villains. So to
Mhm.
make a list of like 60, we get to kind of talk about the movies that we don't talk about a lot. So that's been fun
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's been fun to do it that way, and I've been really what we've been doing on these Friday night streams, talking about different movies or genres or different time periods of films and stuff like that. It got me thinking, it'd be cool just to break it down to the villains themselves, and so that's kind of where this all came from. I mean, I know obviously other people have done it, but I don't think anyone's done it this way because I haven't seen it, and I look, and I know there's some other channels that are doing some villain stuff too, and that's great. But I think the way we're breaking it down is really really cool, and plus incorporating all of us on the panel, plus you guys in the audience. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary's in the chat and Spoof, and we got
Hello.
Jack, Jerry,
Hey.
and
Hey,
Val.
Jerry.
Hello.
All
Hey,
right.
Val.
Yeah. We got Senior in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you as well. And I think Paula asked it was 10 the best. 10 is the top. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
1 through 10. Hey, we got Lamar in the chat. What's up? Saying good evening. What is up?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hey,
new
Lamar.
number.
Yep. Yep. And
That's
thank
right.
you guys for doing that. We appreciate it. All you guys that are able to join the channel memberships and help out and helps to support us, keep the lights on, allows us to do more streams like this and even more. So we really appreciate all the support and not to give anything away. And by the way, Julie, thank you for letting us know we're at 27 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. But we've been teasing this, Steven. You teased it on
Mm.
Wednesday night on your channel, so I'll tease tonight too. On this Sunday coming up, we haven't even put it up yet, but we will be doing a co-channel announcements on both of our channels with something very, very cool that we're really excited about, and we think you guys will be as well. So awesome stuff coming up.
Can't wait to do that, man.
Yeah, I can't either, man. I was like, I want to let the cat out of the bag.
No.
Lamar says I'm back now as the OG member. There you go. There you go, man. We appreciate you going all the way back to Kingdom of the Spiders. All right. Okay. So let's do this, guys. We've talked about the villains that we have gone through, and we've gone through 40 of them, and we're going to try to get through a bunch tonight. For you guys in the chat, let us know what you think about these villains, what score you would give these villains. We will not be able to get to everyone's comment and or question. It's just impossible to do. But if you'd like to, you can send in a super chat and we'll make sure we get to your comment and or question. And you can also help score that particular villain. So if you'd like to put your score to the official score that we're going to have, that's going to ultimately rank all 50 or 60 of these villains, then you can do so. All right. And Val, thank you for putting the link for our channel membership. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. So yeah, you can either click that link if you'd like to help support us, if you're enjoying the content here, if it's bringing you value, or you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. And that's another way that you can do it. Okay. So we've got the wheel.
Yes.
We've got Tanya in the chat. I think we've done Pinhead. We have done Pinhead. All right. No, of course I remember that, Lamar. Paula, we've done Candyman as well. Yes, we have. Okay, so last we had, I believe it was Sarah. And let me just make sure, because I've kept our order as well. So, and we don't have JT with us, at least not yet. So we might just have to rearrange a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So actually, no, Stephen, you were last. Okay. Well, then that's okay then. All right. So actually, Sarah, you will be first.
Ooh.
All right. So let me just get situated here. Got my pen. And making sure I can keep track of everything here. All right. So Sarah, I'm going to spin and it will be your pick. You're going to give us the franchise score that you want to give it, also the scare factor, and the three of us will also give our score for scare factor as well. And then you'll also give a score for the favorite. Okay. All right. Let's spin this and see what we get. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. So it landed on Abigail. And hopefully you guys have had a chance to see Abigail. Really fun movie. But Sarah, first of all, have you seen it?
I did. I saw it once in theaters.
Okay. All right. Very, very cool. So what would you give? Now, obviously, there's only one film.
Yeah.
But just franchise score is just the franchise and it'll be the favorite. But what would you give that 1 to 10?
Okay, so this will be, like you said, the franchise score as well as the favorite installment score. It'll be the same number.
That's right.
I was kind of underwhelmed with this movie, I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably give it a 6.
Okay.
Because I do like some of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a fun idea. I just don't know if I like the execution of it. And I don't know if I like a lot of the dialogue. But it had a lot of potential. And it wasn't bad. it was a fun theater watch, but I haven't had any desire to revisit it.
Ooh, okay. All right. What would you give Abigail a scare factor of 1 to 10?
Hmm.
And again, and let me just say something because I know I just saw this in the chat. Let me just pull this up while you're thinking of that, Sarah, in case
Yeah.
you are. Yeah, Paul was saying she loved the movie, but the scare factor is a 7. So when we say the scare factor, putting ourselves in that situation, right? So just to be kind of transparent, if I was to say, you know, an average person versus, let's say, Abigail, there's no doubt that Abigail should have a higher score. I mean, she's a vampire. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're looking at it. We would be in the situation of, you know, the people that are in the film, regardless of the fact if the movie scared us or not. It's not really about did it scare us as a movie. Okay, so Sarah, what would you give a scare factor?
Yeah, I would give her like a strong 7
Okay,
because she is not human. So that already kind of puts her ahead of anybody that would be human. So yeah,
there
strong
you go.
7.
All right, okay. Coriander, how about you?
Dang. Even though she is, you know, a vampire, she's a kid too, and yeah, she's strong, but I mean, I don't know. I
She
would feel
broke the
more.
door off that cage.
She did. Yeah. Okay, Night. All right.
I don't think we can do that. Just saying.
No, obviously not.
I'm just saying it like that
But
so
I
it's
think
been
with
even
all of
throughout this
us,
whole series.
and if we had you, I'd give her a 6.
Okay. Wow. All right, Steven, how about you?
Well, and like you said, man, it's putting ourselves in those people's shoes in that house.
Yeah.
You know,
Locked in the house.
you're locked in. Yeah, you can't get out. You've got this undead person who's trying to literally kill you, suck your blood, have a snack with your neck. And it's terrifying, man. You know, granted, she is a kid, like Coriander said. You know, though there's a little bit, maybe less intimidation when we just because she's not, you know, 6'1" and whatever. But that also makes her more agile, makes her easier to hide places, harder to catch because she can get to places that, you know, full grown adults won't be able to get to. So anyway, having said all that, I'm still going to give it probably a 7 as well. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go with a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for me, it's, you know, again, this is interesting because again, you're dealing with a situation where you're stuck in the house, you're fighting a vampire, you don't necessarily have weapons with you, you know what I'm saying? You know, you were there to just spend the night, she's abducted, you're trying to get some money and so forth. We saw what happened to the people in the movie, and they were all kind of criminals. So you know that they've done some shady things, some more or less, you know, more than others. And you got, I mean, like Kevin Durant himself, that's a big dude, you know, he got taken out, you know. So for me, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give a scare factor of 8. Okay. All right. And Sarah, we're going to carry over your 6 for favorite film because this is the only film in the franchise.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Jado saying I say an 8. Okay. Julie saying have to head out now. Enjoy the stream, everyone. Thanks, Julie. Hope that you have a good night and enjoy the movie.
Yeah, enjoy Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Anthony in the chat. What's up? What's up? Okay. We got Denisha here. All right. Randy saying the description of Abigail was scarier than the movie. Well, that's not what we're scoring it on, though. Oh man. Russell
This seems to
saying,
be the
"Hey,
hardest this category for everyone to wrap their heads around a little bit
yeah."
because yeah.
Well, and I think, well, the reason that, at least for me, that I thought it'd be cool because, again, just trying to put yourself in the
Mhm.
shoes of the people that are in the film. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Because if I
Yep.
sat there and said, like when we did in our last stream, when we talked about, I think it was Esther from the Orphan movie, right? Like,
Mm.
if I
Mhm.
know that she's the villain and I'm prepared for it, I'm pretty sure she's not going to give me any trouble whatsoever. But
Yep.
that's not what was going on in the movie. She like infiltrated the family and took them by surprise, which is why she was
Mhm.
effective in doing that to multiple families. So
Yep.
when we say scare factor, that's where we're putting ourselves if we were surprised by her and so forth. So
That's
yeah.
right.
Pierre saying, to be honest, we'd be scared to death by a lot of these guys. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
There's no
100%.
lying here. There's no lying. All
Nope.
right. Hey, what's up, Chuck? All right. Okay. So let's go to our next villain. We're going to spend this, and this one will be for you, Coriander. Let's see what it lands on.
Okay.
All right. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. This is good for you, man.
Oh
Victor
boy.
Crowley. Victor Crowley. Kane
Hey, yeah.
Hodder himself.
Mm-hmm.
We're big fans of Kane. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Hatchet series, which
Mm-hmm.
really good slasher series. We covered I think 2 of the films on Slasher Movie Club. But anyways, for Victor
It's a good old
Crowley,
days. Yeah.
well, yeah, the good old days, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
For Victor Crowley, what would you give the franchise score 1 to 10?
There's what 3, right?
I believe there is 3. Yep.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember if I've seen the third one. Uh, um, I think I have. I've seen so many. So I enjoy this series. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's cheesy
Mhm.
and whatever, people may hate it, but I'm one of those people that, enjoy it. It's got pretty good gore. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay, we got a score of 8. And Jotto's saying it's 4 movies. Okay, all right. Yeah, isn't the
Or
last
Yeah.
one just called Victor Crowley? Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there's Hatchet 1 through 3, and
and
then
then
the
Victor Crowley.
standalone Victor Crowley one.
Yeah, yep,
all
yep,
right.
absolutely. Okay. And Coriander, what would you give Victor Crowley? What would you give a scare factor for him, 1 to 10?
I mean, this is an undead dude, he's pretty damn big. You see the damage he does. Oh my God.
Like that one face rip one. God.
Yeah, man. So scare factor, you're saying?
Yeah.
I am gonna give him a 9.
Ooh, wow. Okay, we got a 9. Okay, and your favorite film out of the franchise, whatever that may be, what's the score that you would give that film 1 to 10?
All right. So for you Danielle fans, I'll say the second one. And I'm gonna give it, oh God. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay. Wow. Okay, we got an 8. Okay. Sarah, how about you? What do you want to give a scare factor for Victor Crowley?
I'm going back and forth between 8 and 9. I would say like a strong 8.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Steven, how about you?
Yeah, I would give it an 8 also. Very strong 8 as well. And I've only seen the first one. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
No problem.
definitely an 8.
Okay. All right. Yeah, for me, I agree with you guys. I mean, he's badass. I mean, he's brutal. Those kills are just wow, man. Some of those
Mhm.
kills are just like unbelievably crazy. So I'd have to also go with an 8. Okay. All right. So we got Victor down. Jado saying franchise is a 9. Okay. Pierre's going with a 9. We got Zeducation in the chat. What's going on? Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Tanya saying, is the tall man from Phantasm on there? My screen is small. Yes, we did do the tall man. Yep, we have done the tall man. And by the way, if you guys, and hey, Charlie, if you guys haven't seen our first 2 streams, it is on the channel under our live streams.
I'll link the playlist in the chat.
Okay. And our playlist for watchers live, our Friday night streams will definitely be a place where you can watch those and other streams that we've had, which have been a lot of fun. They really have. Okay. All right, Stephen, we're going to spin the wheel for you next.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ooh, wow. Wow.
Oh boy.
Jaws.
Ew.
Wow.
This is going to be great. Okay. Steven, for the franchise score, 1 to 10, what do you want to give Jaws?
Man, I hardly remember those Jaws movies. It's been so long. Yeah, I should revisit them. Really, I should.
Yeah, it's in the summer. It's the perfect time.
I'm like, what am I hearing right now, Stephen?
I know.
You're in trouble now.
Oh my God.
I know, Coriander.
And we did a Jaws 2 watch party.
Wow.
Was it like 2 months ago? I think so.
Yeah.
3 months ago. Maybe it was 3 months.
I missed that somehow.
Yeah, you did. But it was.
We need to do that. We need to do a watch party of Jaws with you.
Yeah. Well, and now this is what we'll do, because
let's not skip this.
Well, we're not going to skip it.
Okay.
No, we're not going to skip it. But what I'm going to say is, like, if someone can't remember the franchise, then just remember the movie that you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you remember the first one or the first 2, because sometimes in a franchise, especially with franchises with a bunch of movies, you may not remember them all. So you just kind of go with the ones that you do remember when you think of the word franchise. So for the one or ones that you do remember, what would you give the franchise score to be?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do remember it's just like with a lot of franchises, they get a little wonky and a little cheesy the longer they go, the more entries there are. Having said that, though, that first Jaws and arguably the second one too, but that first one is iconic. And as far as fear factor goes, I mean, I'm not a water person, like boats and stuff. It's never really been my thing. So I would just stay on dry land. And however, that's not what we're ranking. We're ranking it on the character.
That's right.
Right.
And so,
yes, you were on.
You're on that boat.
That's
Yeah.
on the boat.
Orca.
I don't have any choice. That's on the boat.
right.
Yes. So yeah, it would be horrifying. And so I'm gonna probably give Jaws a proper respect. And I'm gonna give him an 8. I almost went 9, but
Okay,
so 9.
So we're going with 8 for the franchise score, correct?
Yeah, and that's saying a lot, because I know some of the other later ones were not that good. I just don't remember them that well.
All right.
But
So
Coriander, just so you know, this would have been an 8. This would have been an 8.5 if we had to have rankings.
Oh gosh,
that's okay.
So
all right.
I'm gonna go with 8.
All right, so we got an 8 for franchise. Okay, now how about scare factor?
Man, when you're out in the water, you can't.
Great
run.
whites. You've got to remember those.
I know.
Especially the females. Them can get like over 20 feet, man.
Ooh.
And it was a female. You got to remember. So she's a big bitch.
Yeah, and she's not happy. She's not in a good mood.
No.
And
All
and you
right.
can't
She
run.
could take you in one bite, man.
Let him answer the question so we can come on.
I'm just making it real. Come on,
It's
man.
true.
We all
It's
watched.
true.
I don't know if we all watched, but Shark Week ended not that long ago.
That's
So
true.
come on.
You
Come on.
did. All right. So for scare factor of the great white in that scenario, I got to go with the 9.
Okay,
There you
we
go.
got a 9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and for your favorite film or the film you like the most or that you remember the most, whatever that film may be, what's the score you want to give it 1 to 10?
I'll give it the original Jaws a 9.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. All right. Sarah, how about you on scare factor for Jaws?
So being in the open water with
That's
a
right.
shark is
Yes.
literally my worst fear on earth. It's
Preach
the
it.
reason I do not go out over my head in the ocean. Like,
Mhm.
I won't swim anywhere where it's warm. Like, I'm terrified of sharks. I think
Mhm.
Jaws is probably the reason that I am. So I'm gonna have to give Jaws, like, it's hard because I'm oscillating between 9 and 10, but it's
Mhm.
hard to give just like an animal a 10 when we have a villain like a pinhead or a tall man.
Mm.
Mhm.
So it's hard when I'm like trying to think realistically of like, yeah, in the context of all these horror villains, there is a step that's scarier than Jaws, but in real life, that's like my worst case scenario.
Mhm.
So I'll go 9, a strong 9.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Oh man, if I was on that boat and it was sinking and I had that big friggin' shark, I'm sorry. I love great whites, but I would be shitting my pants and probably the scaredest I'd probably be ever in my life. So I'm gonna have to say like 10.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, again, and actually in the chat, and hey, we got Hollywood guy in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? And Tanya saying, okay, with the stipulation of being on the boat, a 10. Yes, yes, yes. We are in the situation of the characters. Because if we weren't on the boat, then we could just be like, oh, well, I'm not even going to deal with the shark. I'm not going to be in the water, right? And then it's like no reason to really rank it or score it, I should say. So for me, scare factor being in that situation with the boat being so crappy and old the way it was and sinking and so far away from everyone, I got to go with a 10 as well, man.
I was gonna say, come on.
That's
If you
scary
didn't give it a
stuff, man.
10, I was gonna call you bullshit.
No, man, hey, listen,
Oh,
this
this is a guy
this
who doesn't
movie
even
definitely
go
affected
in
me
my
that didn't want to go
dad's
into the
4-foot
water.
pool,
But that has nothing to that's not what it's
You
about.
and
But no,
water
but as a
don't
kid,
mix.
well, no, it's just that this movie really affected me as a kid. It really, really did. No doubt at all. All right. Okay. So we've got Jaws down again. And for you guys just jumping in, please make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps us out. We really appreciate that. And let's see. Mary says, I give Jaws a 10. It's horrifying. There you go. And we are at 38 likes. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Nice.
We appreciate that. And again, if you guys haven't hit it, please do. It helps us out. And also, if you'd like to have your score count as well, all you have to do is send in a super chat and we can take your score officially. It also helps out the channel. We'd appreciate that. Okay, so let's spin this wheel. I'll be starting off with this one. Let's see what we get. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Wow.
Cupid.
Wowie.
Is that
Wowie.
From
wowie.
you don't mean like
Valentine.
From
Valentine, do
Valentine.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so listen. So you guys, we love slashers here. We really, really do. So let's buckle up and get ready for this. Okay. So franchise wise, obviously we're talking about the original film. I think that it's a really, really well-made movie. It's underrated in my opinion. I really love it. I love the mystery of it. I love
Mhm.
the uniqueness of it. I love the atmosphere. I would say I would give it a really strong 8. I'd go with a strong 8. Scare factor, being in the situation that everyone was in, and knowing that the Cupid killer like has like Legolas and Hawkeye level accuracy with with the arrows. I would say for scare factor, I would go with a 7. I would go with a 7. And favorite, obviously, I'm going to carry over my 8. And that's what I'm going to do for our awesome Valentine film. Sarah, how about you?
I love this movie. For scare factor, yeah, if
Yes.
I was in the situation where like all of my friends are being killed off, it would be pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a solid 8 for me.
Okay. All right. We got a solid 8. Coriander, how about you?
Oh man. Um,
And wait a minute. Hold on one second. Ben, you've never seen Valentine?
Oh, dude,
Wow. Wow. Ben has
gotta
seen
see
like
that.
every movie known to man. You've got to see
I saw
this
his
movie, man.
comment and that it actually stopped me from saying something about the killer that would have like ruined it for him.
Yep. Yep.
Ben, you should really check it out, Ben. But I'm sorry, Coriander. What was your
No,
score
it's
for
all
scare
good.
factor?
I mean, it's just a dude, you know.
Mhm.
With that being said, if I know my friends are getting taken out, I'm gonna be on alert. I'm gonna have a
Mhm.
weapon, so I feel like I can pretty much, take care of myself. I'm gonna give him a 6 for Cupid.
Okay, we're going with a 6. Okay, and also just to remind folks, and I know some of you guys are newer here, but please, no spoilers of any movie that is in the theaters. So I'm just going to put that
Oh
out as a
gosh.
warning.
Yeah.
And that's because not every and let me explain this too. And I was explaining this to my group today in a message. That also counts as far as whether you thought it was good or not. Okay, in my definition. Okay, because like if I haven't seen a movie and I'm looking to see it in the theaters, I don't even want to know if it's quote unquote great, good, or horrible. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys that once, and I'm sure you guys will be able to follow through with that because we don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Okay.
Can
All
I
right.
change my score, Knight?
Yeah, you can if you
How
want.
come?
Well, so I scored Cupid as an 8, but I think it
Uh-huh.
was just because I was riding high on like Victor Crowley and Jaws. I'm
She's
gonna
been riding high.
I am gonna take it
Sarah.
down to a 7. He is just a man.
Okay.
Dang.
That's so funny,
Wow.
Sarah. I think that's the first time you've done that. That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah,
It is.
that
I
was
reserved
good.
it for just this moment. Little take backsies.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So, Steven, what do you think?
Well, I think this is one of my favorite movies,
Yes.
and I really love it. Its rewatchability factor's high. It's
Mhm.
it's a great movie, and so I'm ranking this a very strong, not a 7, Sarah, a very strong 8, my friends.
Okay. All right. We're going with
Lock
an
it
8.
in.
It's locked. It's locked, baby. We got it. All right. Very, very cool. And you know what else is really cool, Steven, and can really
What's
bring a
that?
smile to everyone's face in this community? We have a brand new channel member, SSH,
Hey,
stepping up to the plate.
Awesome.
yay.
Very, very
Nice.
cool. Thank you so much for the support. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. It definitely helps us out. It
Mhm.
supports the channel, allows us to
Mhm.
do all the streams that we do every single week in and week out, and we've got so many cool
So
things that we
much
do.
content. Yeah.
Yes,
Let me just
absolutely.
say, if you new member, one series you should check out, especially if you're a slasher fan, is Slasher Movie Club. We don't
Yeah.
do it anymore, which is a shame, but it was so fun, and you should check it out.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. It is a blast. It really is. So as SSH, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. That is awesome. So welcome to the crew. Welcome to the family, the Watchers fam,
Yeah.
officially. And thank you.
Yeah,
All
well, we
right.
want you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Dominic in the house too, man. What's up, Dominic? Good to see you, brother. Saying someone spoiled Long Legs for me when I was talking to him about new horror films. And I was like, why did you spoil that film? He's like, you could
Oh,
have
that's a
went and seen the
bummer.
film. That is too bad.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think that, and listen, I mean, obviously there are times when things can slip. But for people
Mhm.
in general, like when I see a film and I'm talking to whoever, like a friend or my brother or whatever, I want to make sure that I don't spoil it for them. I don't even want to tell them if I like it. Now,
Yeah.
if they ask me if I liked it, I'll tell them that, but I won't tell them, anything that's a spoiler, because I just want them to enjoy it for themselves. Now, some people don't care, and we have a
Yeah.
couple of people we know, like my good buddy Eric. He actually doesn't mind spoilers, but most people, at least that I, am in contact with, they don't like spoilers. So, yeah. All
Mhm.
right. And Russell, thank you for welcoming SSH. We appreciate that and saying I will check it out. Very cool. Awesome stuff.
Nice.
Thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Sarah, we're going back to you. We still got quite a few villains on this wheel. We've still got some heavy hitters too, man. We've got two in particular. I'm not going to say which ones they are, but we've got two that have literally been around for decades and decades and
Damn.
decades.
There's one I've got my eye on because I want to gush about one of the movies, and I'm just hoping I
Ooh.
get it.
Ooh, okay. Well, hold
With
that
your luck,
thought.
I bet you will.
Yeah, Sarah, because Sarah got a whole bunch of great ones, man.
Yeah,
So
she
that was
did.
really cool. Yeah. But I mean, we've got two in particular I'm thinking of, and between the two of them, they might have like, I don't know, 70 films between the two of them. I don't even know. It's been tons.
What?
So
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
know
there's one of
Wow.
them.
What?
you'll know who I'm talking about. There's one that's
Yeah,
had
I gotta look now.
movies since like the 30s. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I see that.
Yeah, we
Oh
should
yeah,
all know who that
Godzilla.
is. The granddaddy. Okay. Let's do this thing. So, Sarah, this is for you. Let's spin it. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, wow. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So we've got Bagul from Sinister or Mr. Boogie. Yeah. So now,
Nice.
have you seen Sinister, Sarah?
Yeah, I've seen both of them.
Okay. Awesome. So let's start this off, man. I mean, Bagul, very interesting villain. So what would you say is the franchise score that you want to give it?
I actually really enjoy the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't like number 2. I did. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
not as good as the first one, but it's got Derrickson, right? I like the
Yes.
vibe. Like
Yep.
he did Black Phone. I like
The-
that vibe too. I just really like the
Mhm.
style.
Yep.
I would give the franchise score like a really solid 7.
Okay.
Like 8 seems a little too high with number 2 in there, but like it's a
Mm-hmm.
solid 7.
Okay. Fair enough. Now for the scare factor, what would you give Bagul for a scare factor?
Ooh, if this was like happening in my home to my children, it would be terrifying.
Mm.
Um, I would say 9.
Okay. A
Like
9. Okay.
if like something was like, I don't have kids, but like if something was like, because again, like the parents don't know what's happening to the very end, right? They just think like something's hurting like the children. So if I
That's
thought
right.
something was like coming for my kids, yeah, it'd be like a 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's also so
All
creepy
right.
looking.
Yeah, very creepy looking. Yeah, and especially like you said, the first one. It's just a creepy movie, man. I mean,
Yeah.
they have rated that so high for scariest movies. Did you ever hear about that or read about it? They would
Yeah.
test the heart rates and see which one would get the fastest heart rate. And Sinister, I believe it was Sinister. They either won it or was right at the top.
Yeah,
So
and I think it had a lot to do with like the cutscenes of the home videos. Those are what were like
yes,
scaring people the most. Those are horrifying.
they
Like the
are.
lawnmower jump scare. Whew.
Oh man, that one was rough. Yep, absolutely. Russell saying Bagul, I loved him. Creepy. There you go. There you go. Coriander, how about you?
So you're talking about that red face
No.
demon.
No,
What?
that's
That's in
Insidious.
Insidious.
Oh, what the hell is this one?
Sinister was that movie. I showed it to you once. It had Ethan Hawke in it. He was a writer of real life crime stories or something like that, and they were in this house, and there was this old movie projector. Well, I don't want to give away everything away about the film, but anyways,
Hmm.
do you
I don't
remember it?
remember.
You
No, I
don't?
don't.
Okay.
No.
Well, then we will not
Yeah, I
give you
don't
a
even
spoiler.
like. Yeah, I don't
Yep,
even know what this thing looks like. Is it a
that's okay.
demon? Is it a person?
No, he's not a person. No, it's an entity or demon. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
well, I could rank it on that aspect of it,
Okay,
or
if you'd
not,
like
or
to
do
do
you
that.
not want me to?
Well, I mean, from what you've heard from us and Sarah, I mean, if you remember any of it or
I
bits and
don't.
pieces, then you could. But if not, that's
I
okay.
really
We'll skip
don't.
you. Okay, we'll
Okay.
skip you. Steven, how about you? Have you seen Sinister?
This is one of the franchises that I have not seen yet. I haven't seen
Ooh.
Sinister or Insidious.
Oh,
So,
that's right. Okay. All
and it's
right.
on Mike and I's radar, but I have not seen them yet. So
Okay.
I'll have to abstain from this one.
Yeah, you definitely have to check them out. They're really really good. Both of them actually. So for me, well actually no, Sarah, I'm sorry. I didn't ask you your favorite movie. What was the score for that 1 to 10?
It's the first one, and
Okay.
it's a solid 8.
Okay. Okay. We'll go with an 8. For me, for scare factor, yeah, I mean, he was definitely scary. I mean, this movie definitely was. Whew. So I would have to agree with Sarah, and I'd have to go with a 9 as well. Very, very scary, no doubt about it. Creepy as hell. Yeah, no doubt. Okay. And real quick too in the chat, we got Mr. Rick coming in with a $2 super chat. Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Saying the end of The Sixth Sense was spoiled on my mom. Really? Oh, that's too bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one that really stings if that was spoiled for you. Yeah, no doubt. Very cool. Well, Mr. Rick, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate that. Also, by sending in a super chat, if you would like to give us your scare factor score for Bagul from Sinister, you can do that. Just let us know what you want to give a score, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. And while we wait to see if you want to do that, let's do a super chat clip for you. How about let's do this one is still one of my favorite ones. You know, Steven, you know, we're fans of some of our favorite actors from the 80s, and sometimes things just don't go well for them later on in their career, and it might look like this.
Not to fear, little children. I will help.
Oh no.
In the night.
Oh yes. Oh, so bad.
In the night. Oh God.
Go.
Oh, sweet goodness.
Gosh, my gosh.
I know. You gotta
I
love
love
it.
it.
Okay. All right. Hey, we got Travis in the chat. What's up, man? And Mr. Rick is saying, I hate to say this, but I've never seen it. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what. If we come up to one that you do know of, you can use it on that. you can do it on that. So just let us know. All right. And Tanya said, Corey, no. That's right, man. I was
Oh,
waiting to play that. Well, when you get a super chat, you play a little clip, have
that's
some
right.
fun.
Absolutely.
That's how we roll. All right. So let's go back to the wheel. All right. So we just got finished with Bagul. Coriander, you're going to be next. We're going to spin this and see what we get. All right. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, that was so close.
Oh,
It was almost the one you were just talking about. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
Lily from Late Night with the Devil.
Huh.
Late Night with the Devil. What do you want? Now, obviously, that's the only film, so we're going to carry over franchise and favorite. What's the score, 1 to 10, that you want to give Lily from Late Night with the Devil? Based on the movie, of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Lily an 8.
Okay. All right. So we got an 8 and an 8. Okay. So let's go to scare factor. Again, putting us in the situation on that late night talk show host show.
Yeah,
What's the
I
score? 1 to
mean,
10.
I'm a believer in Ouija boards, not messing with them, getting possessed, all that stuff. So if I actually saw someone who was possessed and doing the shit that this chick was doing, yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna have to say a 9.
Okay. All right. We got a 9. Woohoo.
I don't like dealing with,
Well,
demons and stuff
Mhm.
that's,
I agree.
Yep.
I
evil,
agree.
I guess.
All right. Steven, have you seen Late Night with the Devil?
It's on the list, but I haven't seen it. So
Oh, okie dokie. All right.
yeah.
That's no problem. No problem. Sarah, have you seen it?
I did. I'm not sure if I can give it a fair scare factor though. It was one of those movies where like I put it on, but was like it didn't hold my attention, so I started doing other things and it just kind of ended. So I don't think I can give it like a fair score.
Okay. All right. We got Ben saying Late Night with the Devil's my favorite movie of 2024. Lily is pretty creepy. Yeah, she was creepy. She really was. I gotta say too, man. David Dastmalchian, who was the lead, he did a great job, man. It was almost like watching one of those old school late night talk shows. He killed it. He really did. So for me, being the fact that we're talking about a demon that possessed her, and we saw, what happened to people that were in the vicinity. Let's just put it that way. I got to go with a 9. I definitely would not want to be in that situation at all. I take my chances with like Victor Crowley and I take my chances with Jaws. I would.
Oh, damn. I don't know.
Over Lily?
Dude,
Dude,
Jaws,
like at least you got a
no
shot
way.
with Jaws.
Do you? Maybe.
You got more of a
But the
shot
way
than with
Jaws was
Lily.
acting, that bitch wanted to eat everybody. You'd be dead.
Oh man. All right. Real quick too in the chat. We got Lars in the chat. What is up, man? Saying good evening. Good evening to you too. Hope you're doing well. Glad you're here. We are just going through some more of these villains. We've gone through about 7 of them. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate that. Let's see. Mr. Rick saying, I've seen Late Night. I'm giving points to the movie or the performance of Lily. We're doing it with scare factor. So, and thank you for writing that in there, Sarah. So the scare factor, if you were in that situation on stage with her or in the audience or whatever, what's the scare factor 1 to 10 that you would give? All right. And hey, we got Elm Street in the house. What's up, Elm Street? Good to see you. Okay. All right. So Mr. Rick, let us know if you want to give a point for that, and we'll move on to our next one. Stephen,
Okay.
let's do this one for you, and let's see what we get. All right, we still got big guns, man. I can't even believe it.
Oh, Mr. Rick put in a score.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Leprechaun, baby.
Oh man.
Mr. Rick gave a
Aw.
10. Wow. All right. So we got a 10 officially for Lily as part of the scare factor. Okay, so let's Steven. Let me just say this. I'm so glad it wasn't me that landed on this. I've been very vocal about this franchise and some of the idiotic sequels. All right. So Steven, first of all, Steven, have you seen a lot of the Leprechaun films or any of them? Or
I know for sure I've seen the first one.
Okay.
And I think I saw one of the sequels, but I don't remember which one it was.
Okay.
I know
That's
there's
okay.
a bunch of sequels.
There's like 9 of them. I don't even know how many of there are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah,
Way too
too
many.
many.
Hey,
Yeah.
but you know what? I'll give them credit, man. They keep doing them, so something's got to be working, because there's some films that don't get that many sequels or don't go on for decades. I mean, this franchise has been around since whatever it was, 1990 when the first one came out,
Something like that. Yeah,
Shout out to Jennifer Aniston. She'll never
Right?
that's right.
she'll never claim this one, but the first one, it was all right. It wasn't bad. We actually did that as
Yeah.
one of our Battle World episodes. So it's got fun to it. And let me just say this, because I'm crapping on it, but that's more so because I have fun with it, and I got a couple buddies that love to joke about it too. But I love Warwick Davis. Okay, let me just say that.
Oh yeah.
He's an absolute legend.
Mhm.
Willow is one of my favorite films growing up, and even to this day. So I love Warwick Davis. Let me just say that. But Steven, for franchise score, what do we want to give Leprechaun 1 to 10?
Yeah, it's for sure entertaining.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna rank it that high. I mean, honestly, man, this is a movie that I never go back and watch
Uh-huh.
again, and the sequels sound funny, but I've never even got the gumption to watch them yet. So I'm gonna rank this fairly low for me. It's about a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a 5. Okay. And also in the chat, real quick, we got Rachel in the house. What's up, Rachel? Good to see you.
Hey.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well. Very cool to have you here. And Charlie Brown said, "Oh shit." Yeah, that's right. Oh man, you gotta love this. He's saying the first is great. His education also agrees the first is a classic. All right, very
Yeah.
cool. All right, so Steven, scare factor of Leprechaun. Again, being in the film, obviously he's a friggin' leprechaun. He's a magical creature.
Yeah.
So what's the score you want to give Leprechaun 1 to 10?
Man. I mean, if we were talking Wishmaster, who's got some wishes, that's a whole different story. But we're talking about the Leprechaun.
There's
And
no way he's talking about him.
he's like,
God.
all he wants to find is his pot of gold.
Oh
So,
man.
I can't. This is scare factor, right? You said
Scare factor. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in the situation, and yeah, man.
it's gonna be a 5, man, at the most. I was gonna go 4.
So you're like, man, I just
But
go
I'll
up to
go
the
5.
leprechaun and kick him in the butt across the room.
I mean, basically, practice kicking field goals with them or something, dude.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Sarah, how about you for scare factor? God.
Yeah, I think I would be more confused and shocked that leprechauns were real, and then confused about their motives.
Right?
And like, yeah, I wouldn't want him to bite me, but like, I'm not wearing any gold. So I'd have to go with a 5.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Oh God. I mean, wasn't he like trapped in this like box or something? Right?
He was after
Mhm.
and I can't remember how it exactly happened, but I think it was the
Exactly.
guy who he
Yeah,
had killed
man. So
he killed the
anyway,
guy's wife or whatever, and then the
yeah,
guy tricked him or something.
yeah. So the whole point is you can trick that little fucker, and
Wow.
Gee.
it's kind of ridiculous. I'm gonna give him a 3.
Come on, man.
No, he's getting a 3.
Okay. All right. Okay. For me, being the fact that he has magical powers, okay, and he's like not of this world, I gotta give him a 7. I gotta give him a 7. I don't know if it'd be that easy to kick him around. He can kill people. He has killed people. Yeah, the franchise isn't a favorite of mine for sure, but yeah, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. Okay. God, too funny. Real quick too in the chat. Hey, we got Jeff coming in, gifting. Oh wow, 10 memberships. Oh man,
Oh,
thank you
that's
so much. Seriously,
awesome.
he did a
Yeah,
5
Willie
and a 5.
Winnie.
Wow.
Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that. Super cool. Wow. I don't have all the people listed, but for all of you guys who did get gifted a membership, please give a shout out to Jeff, who's always so generous and supportive of this channel. I just want to say that, Jeff, I really appreciate that. We appreciate that. It really helps us to do streams like this that we do every week, and especially when we have longer streams. It just really helps us out. Seriously, it does. So it looks like Cody's back with us. Andrew, Maga. Looks like we got a membership that was gifted to Tanya. So welcome to the channel memberships. Yeah, and Sarah, if you're able to put in the live chat, just reminding people about the auto renewal.
Yeah.
In the settings, if you guys would like to stay with us as a channel member, you have to go into the settings to set that up. So, but thank you so much, Jeff. We really appreciate that. Seriously, man. Very cool. Yeah, Rachel, it is wow. And Cody saying, I got gifted. Thank you so much. That's right, man. They're very kind of them. And again, guys, if you are gifted, we'd love to have you stay with us, but you have to turn on auto renewal. We have some of you folks that definitely appreciate these gifted memberships, as it is very kind of Jeff. It really is. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Alan said he'll bite your foot off. There you go. Oh, too funny, man. We got Nathaniel in here too. All right. He says you can't trick the leprechaun. The leprechaun tricks you. Yeah, he is pretty tricky. Yes, indeed. Tanya saying thank you. All right. And
Also,
Andrew
if
as
you
well.
want to be eligible to win a gifted membership, make sure you're allowing gifts in your YouTube settings.
Yes. Thank you for that too, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I totally forgot to even mention that. Very cool. Andrew saying, thank you for the membership, Jeff. I wasn't even in the stream and I got one. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it goes to folks that do frequent the streams and the channel. So it's a really cool thing. It helps people to be able to become channel members, to see if it's something that they like. But I will say this, I think it's really cool. We have a lot of folks, even here, that are channel members that have gotten to be really close friends and able to hang out with each other, when we do exclusive streams, when we do exclusive watch parties or hangouts and things like that. And of course, also exclusive content, polls, and so forth. So it's really cool. All right. Very, very cool. Jeff saying it's no problem when you have such a nice, really friendly community here. Well,
Aww.
thank you. Seriously.
Yeah.
That means a lot, man. It really does. And we would have it no other way. and you're a big part of that, just being so positive and so generous to folks here so many times. I just want to say that again. I mean, Jeff, he gives memberships all the time, and we appreciate that. It does not go unnoticed. We definitely appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Very cool. Okay. Did Leprechaun go to space? Yeah, unfortunately he
You
did.
sure did, Jeff.
He went to the hood, he went to space. It's crazy. Yeah. He says the first Leprechaun was a decent movie, but I don't think it needed a series of movies. I agree too. And we said this when we did the episode for Battle World. I think Leprechaun was a direct product of, Freddy and also Chucky. You know what I'm saying? You had these villains that were vocal and doing little quips and jokes and kind of, just having that aspect of it, having a lot of fun in these horror films. And I think that that's why Leprechaun was able to, to get a fan base and continue to do movies for its franchise. So, okay. Very cool. Hey, Gina's in the chat too. I hope you're doing well. All right. Catherine saying, "Hey all, I'm hopeless." Well, you made it. You made it in here. We're happy you did. All right. Let's go to our next spin on the wheel. And this time it will be my spin. So let's see what we got. We still got the heavy hitters. I can't believe this. We've got the Invisible Man, Annabelle, Godzilla, the Creeper, Cropsy, the Xenomorph, the Mummy. I mean, we got some big ones left. All right. Let's see what we get. Oh boy. Look at that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Now listen. Okay. Let me make us
Oh,
full
no.
here. And well, it's only me and Steven on screen anyways. Okay. So it's death. Okay. Let me just make sure I said that. Death. Okay. From the Final Destination series. All right, let's proceed. I love this franchise. It's such a fun franchise. We've talked about it so often. We've done deep dive discussions on it, and all of them are great. One of them isn't, my most favorite, but it's still all right. The other four, I think they're all, and you guys know which one I'm talking about. The other four movies, I think, are just amazing, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the sixth film. For the franchise, just to me, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with a 9. I love this franchise. It's a great franchise. I'm going to go with a 9. Scare factor 10. I'm going 10. I didn't have to think about it. I'm going with a 10. Sarah, how about you for a scare factor?
Yeah, I mean, he's never lost. It's a 10.
That's right. You're all right, girl. You're all right.
Like, you're gonna die. Even if you cheated for one installment, he's getting you in the next one.
Right? Coriander, how about you?
I mean, you can't cheat death, right? It's been proven in these movies many times, so it's got to be a 10.
It's got to be. There you go. All right. Steven, what do you think, man?
Oh, maybe a 3.
Yeah.
No, it's a 10.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And for my favorite film and the score of it in the franchise, that's always been tough. We've talked about, Coriander, we've talked about this many times in discussions and stuff. I know I know what you think of it too, but I've always had fun with 2 and 3, and for different reasons. I like both of them a lot. I might have to actually, maybe even after this stream, really sit down and think hard about it. But I'm gonna, for right now, and that could change in 2 minutes, but for right now I'm just gonna go with 2. And
yeah,
the thing about 2 is number one, the setup accident is just legendary, bro. When I'm on the highway, I stay away from log trucks. I just do. There's no doubt.
Oh
And
yeah.
just the domino effect of that scene and how it happened was just so awesome. And I also like the fact that this group in the film, they kind of teamed up together. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like a cooler or better vibe than in the first film, at least for me. And I love the first film, but two just really got to me a lot. And so, anyways, I'm gonna rank 2, and I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's a great film. So there we are. I'll stop gushing about Final Destination. Oh man. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to the chat. Rachel saying, love Final Destination. The OG and number 2 are the best, but the rest are fun. There you go.
Yep.
All right. Education saying Final Destination Part 1 is great. You can't cheat death. There you go. Now you guys are in there. Good. Let's see. Jeff saying, I get the movies. I give an 8 scare factor. I give it a 9. There you go. There you go. Elm Street going with a 10 for Final Destination. Wow. That's, you know what? And it's interesting too, because I think, and Steven, let me know what you think about this too. You know, Final Destination, I think, doesn't get, or it doesn't seem to, I could be wrong, but doesn't seem to get the love it should get. You know, I think it's been a great franchise, you know, from that 2000s period, you know?
I agree, man. It's, you know, it seems to me like it's almost, you know, it's not necessarily forgotten, but it's like people don't really, that at least that I'm aware of, or I've in my sphere, they don't really hold this one up a whole lot. Like, you know, if you start talking about it, that people will be like, oh yeah, like that's really good. But then it's like, that's it. And these are fun movies. They're very rewatchable, in my opinion. And I mean, my favorite sequel of this franchise is the 5th one, the most recent one. And, you know, I'm not going to say anything about it other than the way they chose to do it was really cool.
Agreed.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I think this is a franchise we should feature more. Maybe I should do some watch parties or something more often.
And can I just like quickly piggyback on what Steven said? It's because I actually thought about this not too long ago. I had this conversation with a friend, and I think it's because they don't have a villain they can market, right? You can't sell Freddy merch, you can't sell Michael merch, you can't put Ghostface on a t-shirt. Like, there's no villain to market. Like, how do you market death? So I think it kind of, it's not front of mind because you don't see it in stores.
That's a good point. Well said. Well said. Yeah, I totally agree with you. All right, so that's for Final Destination. And Jeff, also, I want to make sure, so for your scare factor, that's your scare factor you want to give to Final Destination. It's a 9. So I just want to make sure of that. So let me know, because we will actually take your score officially here, because you sent in the gifted memberships. We appreciate that so much. And we also have Rachel, who's coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Rachel. We appreciate you. You know that. And she's saying 8 for the franchise, 10 for the scare factor. It's death. He's coming for you. Also at an extra point for Mr. Sexy Corner, Tony Todd. There you go. Okay. So we've got a 10 for the scare factor too. All right. Very cool. And thank you, Rachel. We appreciate you sending that in. Let's do a clip here for Rachel. We appreciate the support. It really helps us out a lot. Let's do, you know what? I'm looking over these and I'm just like, some of these are just so crazy and they're old. Let's do one that's kind of like an older one that I really enjoy. It's an oldie but goodie, but let's do it.
When you find yourself at 1 a.m. in the morning with your hand in the air and a horse's ass in front of your face, that's when you know it's bad.
That's when you know it's bad. Slap ass. Okay.
You know how
Oh.
you know that's how I feel about you, Night. Slap ass.
Jeez. Oh God. Thank you so much, Rachel. We appreciate you sending in the super chat and helping us out. Oh Lord, too
Oh,
funny,
man.
man. And hey, we got Ginger Ninja in the house. All right.
Hey, Ginger.
Russell said the scare
Hey.
factor is 0. You mean for death? It's 0?
Wow.
No one has won against death.
Nope.
You know what? You know, it's so funny when you said that, Sarah. It made me think every single villain on here, and I could be mistaken, but I don't think I am. Every one of these villains have been defeated. Death has not.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there you go. All right.
that's right.
This is
Hey,
fun.
Night.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's still some people that are like in the movie theater. So you might just want to say that little piece again about no spoilers.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Well, you could have said it. Guys, definitely, please do not.
Not that anybody's spoiling, I'm not saying that, but just so that they know
Oh.
not to. That's all. Because someone just mentioned how they were in the theater,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So for anyone, if let me just say this: there's never any spoilers here. Never ever. If a movie is in the theaters, no spoilers. If we're talking about a particular movie, unless we say it, more specifically me, no spoilers. Same thing with watch parties. We try to have that as our general rule. So please, no spoilers. Please, please, please. Okay. So let me see if I can get myself resituated here. Okay. So also, hey, Rachel just gifted 5 memberships. Wow.
Nice.
Thank you, Rachel. Jeez, thank you. See, it looks like we've got Brooke received one, Wayne, Nicholas, let's see, Tommy as well. So definitely make sure you guys, Film Kid as well. Film Kid is back with us in the fold. Definitely give a shout out to Rachel. Very kind of her to do that. Seriously, Rachel, that was too kind. And please let us know your scare factor score, for our next villain that we come up with. That would be great. All right. And let's see. We also have Mr. Rick coming in. All right. $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Seriously. Saying I have to go, but can I please have a Mr. T? Okay.
Oh, man.
That's too funny, man. All right, let's do this one. You guys know what it is. Sometimes you just got to jam out, and we've got a couple people that know how to do it the right way. Here we go.
You gotta do a mashup of this and Sylvester Stallone, dude.
Dude, we're on the same wavelength.
M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that you felt when I was born.
Wow.
I know. Oh man, thank you, thank you so much, man. We appreciate the support. It helps us out so much, and hope that you enjoyed the Mr. T clip because we do as well. Thanks so much, man. Seriously, very cool of you. Okay, and have a good night too. I know you say you got to go, so have a good night. All right. Rachel singing it. Treat your mama right. There you go.
Treat her right.
All right, Mr. Rick. Have a good night. He's saying thank you and good night. Tanya saying that goes hard, doesn't it? Scott said, "This is
Oh,
great."
no.
Was that John Carpenter on the synth for Mr. T? Oh man, it's too bad that JT isn't here. Sarah's probably just hoping and praying that we don't do a certain something, but we won't, Sarah. We won't because
I've been bracing for it every time I see a super chat.
I know. All right. People are probably like, what are these guys talking about? Okay. So, Sarah, you're going to be next for the wheel. This is fun, guys. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
It
Seriously.
is a lot of fun.
It is. It really is. Okay, Sarah, let's see who you get next on the wheel. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God. She got it.
This is what I wanted.
I knew it. And I knew it too. I knew it
Yeah,
was.
look, you need to go to
The
Vegas,
Mummy.
girl.
She does. She's been getting so many great ones. And the one that she wanted, like she's like using like ESPN powers.
ESPN, what the heck?
Yes.
I'm just
I love
playing. I'm
it.
just playing.
What
All right, so
the-
Sarah, when we talk about the Mummy franchise, and let me just explain this. Now, obviously, this could include all of the Mummy movies or any of the ones that obviously that you've seen specifically, or the newest ones, or what, you know. So there's certain villains that you could go in a lot of different ways with it. But anyways, because I know Rachel just asked that. Yep, that's exactly why I wanted to explain that. So Sarah, for you, when you think about the franchise for the character of the Mummy, what's the score you want to give it and why?
Oh, this is hard because yeah, it goes back to what, like the 30s.
Mm,
And I've seen a couple of like the really old ones, but like, come on, when you say the Mummy, I think of Brendan Fraser. Like,
Yep,
I think
yep.
of the 90s mummies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're some of my favorite movies ever. Like, I
That's
met
so
Oded
cool.
Fair last year, and he was delightful.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, a picture of me and him is the screensaver of my phone. Like, I love that man.
Wow.
These are fun, but it's like for franchise, it's hard because there's so many movies. Like, how do you narrow
Yeah.
down a score?
Right.
I would give the franchise, I'm gonna say a 7, because like there are some movies that bring it down, like
Mhm.
the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, like the Scorpion King, some random movies from the 60s that I'm probably not thinking of.
Yeah.
But The Mummy and The Mummy Returns are just, they're classics.
Returns was so good. I could not believe how
So
good
good.
that was. For when you get a sequel and it's like that good, I remember when I first saw it, it was great. Now the third one with Jet Li, you weren't a big fan of that one, right?
No, and it's partially because I hate when they recast people, like a prominent figure. So
Right.
the Rachel Weisz recasting didn't work. They did not have the same chemistry. It was just, I don't know. It missed the mark for me.
Yeah, she was so awesome too, man. Like it was lightning in a bottle, lightning in the
Yeah.
bottle. So, all right. So we got the 7 for the franchise. And let me just say, Sarah, that was well said. I mean, because I know you love those two films. You've said that a few times.
Yeah.
So good job on just trying to figure that out. I know that's a challenging way to have to score it. But for the scare factor, what's the point value you want to give for scare factor?
So this one's gonna be a little lower because the thing is, I think Emotep is such like a cool creature design. Like, love him from like gooey mummy stage up to like fully a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like scary, I don't know. Again, if I am Rachel Weisz and this man is trying to kill me to reincarnate his dead lover, I would be pretty. So I'm gonna say like a 7.
Okay, a 7. Well said. Well said. Okay, Coriander, how about you? What do you think you'd give a scare factor for the Mummy?
Well, I haven't seen the Mummy movies. So,
At all?
well, not like the Brandon Fraser ones. I've seen like the old school, the Mummy,
Yeah.
and I could do other versions of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Mummy.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess I agree with 7.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to show you the Brandon Fraser movies. I think you'd like them. You know,
Yeah.
they're very. It's
They're
a nice
good.
mixture of yeah, they are. They're fun, but they're
Yep.
also the horror aspect in it, and it's all you get a little Indiana Jones vibe in there. It's,
Mhm.
I think you'd love them, to be
Yeah,
honest with
at
you.
least 1 and 2 is a double feature. And then if you want to delve into like Scorpion and Dragon Emperor, but at least do The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. No doubt.
Yep.
All right. Steven, how about you? What do you think for scare factor?
Oh, for scare factor. Yeah, I think I mean, obviously if you're in that situation, it'd be pretty scary. But I'm not gonna go too crazy high for me. I'm gonna probably give it like a 6.
Okay. All right. We
Yeah.
got a 6. And also, Sarah, I forgot, I keep doing this with you, but for your favorite film in the franchise, what's the score you want to give that 1 to 10?
Yeah, and I was thinking, I was like, do we go like OG, Boris Karloff, or do we go like My Mummy? But like they're probably the same score, honestly. It's gonna be like the 90s The Mummy, Brendan Fraser, and it's a 9 out of 10.
All right. Nice. Very cool. For scare factor, for me, I mean, I'm kind of on par with you guys as far as, when I think of the different situations that people have been in, people that are, normal, average folks that were able to kind of, hang in there at least for a little while, possibly. And of course, in the Brendan Fraser movies, you definitely could, if you were wily enough, you could, you could make some things happen. So if I'm in that situation, I have to agree with you, Steven. I'd go with a 6.
Yeah.
I'd go with a 6. Yeah. All right. Okay. Very cool. Let me just catch up to the chat. Rachel saying, I just love that Oded's character was supposed to be completely covered in tats, but then the director saw him and said, nah, he's too beautiful to cover his face in tats. There you go.
Oh, and he is aged like a fine wine. He had like the salt and pepper short hair. He was
Who are you
lovely.
talking about?
For
Oded
the
Fair.
Mummy.
He plays Ardeth. He's a character.
Oh,
You'll know
I'm
when
not-
you see him. He's a beautiful man. Oh yeah, if you watched
And we
Resident
got-
Evil, he's Carlos.
Yeah, he's Carlos in Resident Evil. Yep.
Oh,
And
sorry.
Catherine saying, what was that?
No, I can't. I don't know. I've seen the movie, but I don't know the characters well enough to place them. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Catherine saying Boris Karloff is a 9. Brendan Fraser is a 4. Tom Cruise is 1. There you go. Jeff saying you can't forget about The Mummy meets Abbott and Costello. There you go. There you go.
I had that on VHS. That was a good one.
That was a fun one.
Oh.
That was a fun
Mhm.
one. Too funny. Too funny. All right. So let's go to our next spin. Coriander, it's going to be for you.
All right.
And let's see what we get here. Ooh, let me make sure I've got my screen set right. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Oops. I don't want to do that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's spin. Ooh. Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkin.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one in a while, but that is a fun
Good.
one. All right. All right, Coriander, what do you think? Franchise score 1 to 10. What do we want to give Pumpkinhead?
How many movies are there in Pumpkinhead?
That is a good question. I think
I've seen the first one.
I think there's
But
3, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
I think there's
So
3. I know there's at least 2.
all right. Well,
And it's the ones that only you remember anyway. So if there was 85 and you don't remember 2, then it doesn't matter.
yeah, no, I don't. Like I remember the first one pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I will do for the franchise a 6.
A 6. Okay. Okay, and scare factor.
I mean, Pumpkinhead is, you know, he has his moments.
Mhm.
I'll give him a 7.
Okay. And the favorite film in the franchise. So you only remember the first one, you've said?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna carry over your 6. Okay. Steven, how about you? What do you want to give Pumpkinhead for scare factor?
Um, I think a 6 or a 7 feels about right for me. This is another 6.5. If we had them, you spoiled us with doing that on the other one, man. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I know.
But
But then I realized how it makes keeping the score and adding everything up more difficult.
oh, you're not kidding. Oh my
Because
gosh.
because it's me doing it.
Yes. Oh, I don't envy that.
Right?
Um,
I know once I started to realize how much math I was gonna have to do, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a lot of fun.
damn man, I'm telling you. Now as far as this one goes, though, I'll give Pumpkinhead a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sarah, how about you?
I've only seen the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really long time ago. It's the one with Lance Henriksen, right? And his like little
Yep.
son gets hit.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say like a 7 from what I can remember. The whole look of the creature, and yeah, I'd go
Mhm.
7. I'm kind of the same as Steven. I was in that like 6, 7 range.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
And Jeff saying it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, and I'm only seeing the one. I give it a 6 in the scare factor. Okay. All right. And we've got that down. For me, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I'm gonna go with a 7. I could have gone with a 6, but I'll give it a 7. It's a great looking monster. I will say that. Great practical work, which
Yeah.
was always cool to see. So, all right. Very cool. Charlie Brown saying they said some out of town folks did something real bad and Pumpkinhead was out to get them. There you go. Yeah, it was a really good film. I remember we did a watch party for it. It was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kenny saying the creeper ain't getting talked about tonight. If it lands on him, it will. He's on the wheel, so we'll see how things go. If it lands on the wheel, let's see. Just to catch up to you guys in the chat. And Lars saying Pumpkinhead is cool. Yes. I agree. Okay. All right. And that's right, Sarah. I did forget that. You're right. If you do send in a super chat, you also can. When we did that before, I can't even remember how we did that.
I think Rachel sent in a super chat and asked for Candyman.
That's right.
I think
Was it a
that's how-
it was a $5 super chat, I believe it was.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
If you do a $5 super chat, yes, you can ask for one of the villains that we have left, not one that we've already done, of course. So Kenny, if you want to do that, yeah, we can make sure we get them tonight. Because we probably got 20 villains left. We'll get to probably about half of those before we end the stream tonight. So yeah. All right. Let's see who we have next. And then this one will be for you, Steven. So we're going to be spinning for you.
Okay.
And let's see who we get. Well, look at that. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ben Willis. Okay. Sarah, did you want to get Ben Willis?
No, I like this.
Yeah. So I know what you did last summer. Steven.
Yeah.
And and I love hearing him talk about this. Okay, so Steven, franchise score for I know what you did last summer. What's the score that you want to give it?
Oh man. It's
What are you waiting for?
I know exactly. What are you waiting? Dude. This
It had a great chase scene, though. I'm never gonna forget that with Sarah Michelle
Okay.
Gellar.
There with that, I was going to say the Sarah Michelle Gellar chase scene was good, very good. It's pretty sad when we're talking about one scene of a movie. I mean, that's all we're talking about.
Well,
But no, I
well,
mean, I know I'm being a
yeah.
little facetious, but here's the thing. I won't drag this out too much longer, but this movie coming off Scream, this is Kevin Williamson's next film. Okay.
Mhm.
And I was going in expecting through the roof. And I should have just went in expecting the first floor and then climbed my way up a couple of floors, and I probably would have liked it better. So this is one for me, and this may shock a lot of people. For me, I don't have a high level of rewatchability. I've only seen it a few handful of times.
Mhm.
And it's not that I hate it. It's not a bad movie at all,
Right.
but it's not a great movie, in my opinion. That's just what I feel about it.
Mhm.
And so I've seen all of the sequels, and I made myself finish that dreadful series on Amazon.
Oof, that was
Wow.
That
rough.
was horrific. I forced my eyes. I came just short of toothpicks, keeping my eyelids open.
That was bad.
Wow.
So bad. I couldn't. It was
Yeah.
terrible. Anyway, so if we're not factoring that though, right? Are we? Or is that part
No.
of it? Just the movies, right?
Well, technically speaking, I suppose we would be counting that in. Yeah.
To the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did, believe it or not, I think I actually kind of enjoyed the sequel with Jack Black more than I did the original. As
Mhm.
crazy as that sounds. Anyway, it's not going to be very high, guys. I'm sorry. Let me just spit it out. So for the franchise, including the TV series, which just, I have to bring this down to an average franchise of 5.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Scare factor.
I mean, I just don't find of course, I got to think about the people in the movie.
Mhm. Right.
Scare factor is a 5, man. It's just
Okay.
average.
All right.
Yeah.
And for the film that you enjoy the most out of
Yeah.
all of them, what's the score you want to give that?
The one I enjoyed the most, it's between 1 and 2. I'll give it a score of, I mean, again, there's a lot worse movies than I know which did last summer, for sure.
Mhm.
I'll give it a 6 as overall. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mercy.
All right. Sarah, how about you for scare factor for Ben Willis?
Factoring in all of the beds. I would say scare factor is like a 5.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Coriander, how about you?
Well, the dude, yeah, 4.
All right. Okay. For me, being in the situation that they were in, not knowing exactly when he was going to attack them, he was pretty intense, and I'm speaking more so because I didn't watch the TV show. I'm talking about 1 and 2, which I didn't think were bad. I'd go with a 5. I'd go with a 5 on it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got that down for Ben Willis of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Let's see. I'll be spinning next. And that'll be for our 52nd villain. Holy moly. That's crazy.
Wow.
To think that we've gone through that many. Very cool.
I know.
We got Eli's in the chat saying, "What's up? What's going on?" All right.
Hey.
Russell saying, "Great chat and films friend. Off to another stream." All right. Have a good night, man. Thank you. Wow.
Wow.
Jeff is going with a 5 for a scare factor. All right. Very cool. And by the way, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out. We have a few new people that have jumped in. Hope you guys are enjoying the discussion. So let's go to our next one. I'm so surprised we still got a couple of these people. So with a couple of these villains that are like, they're like godfathers, you know. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
get it.
man.
Let's
I'm
see what we
eyeing
get.
that John Carver, man.
Yeah, there you go. There he is. There it is.
Oh,
Finally.
there you go.
There he is, man. Look. Let's I was like, man, Dracula's been sitting there forever. You know what I mean?
Who is
Oh
this
my
for?
god. Me.
Oh, you lucky.
Hey man, you know it is what it is. So listen, okay. For me, this is a character or a villain that scared me as a kid, you know, really did. And growing up at the time that I did, the name Dracula, it held a lot of weight. You know, I remember me and my brother, my cousins, we used to try to scare the youngest of us. Dracula's coming for you, you know. And whether you're talking about Bela Lugosi, that film is still so awesome. You know, we're talking about almost 100 years old, right? Christopher Lee obviously is the boss. You know, I love Christopher Lee Dracula films. Coriander, I know you're a big fan of the Gary Oldman Dracula film in '92, which I was too. It was a really great film. So when I talk about franchise, okay, so I couldn't even tell you how many Dracula films there are, and I obviously have not seen them all. But from the ones that I've seen or the ones that come into my memory, I think most of them are, you know, pretty good. So for a franchise score for the OG himself, I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8. Scare factor. Meaning, you know, I'm in this situation and I'm being hunted or attacked by Dracula or what have you. Scare factor, I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8. All right. Sarah, how about you? Scare factor with the Count himself.
Yeah, I'm also in the ballpark. I was thinking if I gave like little Abigail a 7, I'll have to give Dracula an 8.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Coriander, how about you? And you can tell us your love for this franchise and character if you want.
All right. So I didn't see Christopher Lee and all those Bela Lugosi till I was like older. So my first Dracula movie was Gary Oldman. And oh my God, him in this role, he was so good. I mean, he actually, like, I guess you could say I love his character. You know, if I was Winona Ryder, I would have been right there with her and joining him and ready to rip the whole city apart, you know. And scare factor, I mean, shit. I mean, I guess the thought of what he could do and what he was doing, but to be Winona Ryder, you know what I mean? She fell in love with him. So it's like, it's tough, you know. So I'll scare factor. I don't know. If I wasn't her, I guess a 9.
Okay. Going with a 9. Okay. And Rachel, that's right. I have crossed oceans of time.
Yes, exactly. He had moments in that movie where I was like, oh my God, because, you know, it's not like he's the handsomest man, but him in this character in the role, it was like, oh my God, I was like swooning over him at times, you know?
The charisma.
Yeah.
All right. And Steven, you're right, man. you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I can eloquently state that.
I know,
Yeah,
man. I know.
yeah.
So yeah. All right, Knight. Where are we at here, man? This is
We that messed you up, huh?
just look
Um,
broke my concentration a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it got me too, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. It's all good.
So we're talking about Dracula, the Count himself,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
what you want to give him for a scare factor.
Okay. There's so many versions of Dracula, man. It's like,
That's true. Yeah.
wow.
Dead and loving it.
It's
Now wait a minute.
bingo. Leslie Nielsen, arguably the best Dracula in the history of
Oh
cinema.
wow.
Just saying. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right, Sarah. Um, wow. Okay. You know, I always kind of go back to my home base, which you guys know for me, it's Wes Craven's Dracula 2000. And I've also been on record for years. I'm not a huge fan of the Dracula creature or whatever. I respect it. I respect Dracula. And
Mhm.
my dad adored vampire movies. Like, that's one of my dad's favorite genres. So
Mhm.
I appreciate it. I do. And I enjoyed Dracula 2000. And there's others that I thought were good. But I'll have to say, scare factor. Night. What did I rank Abigail? Do you have that?
You gave Abigail. Well, I'm not sure. Let's see, Sarah. I think you said Abigail. You said Abigail was a 7.
I did. Okay.
Mm.
Well, I'm gonna steal Sarah's logic because it makes sense to me. I'm gonna give him an 8 because
Okay.
he's a full grown adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I
Pierre-
just say, we've all managed to skip over super buff prison break Dracula from Blade Trinity.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true too,
that's
man. Blade
true.
Trinity. That's true. That's
Oh,
right.
this makes me
Can't
giggle.
can't forget that. And Pierre was saying scare factor, it's a 9 because he can do so many things, and that's true too, man. There's a lot of different powers,
Yeah.
transforming and mind control and all these different strength, ability to fly, turn into mist. It's so many different things in the mythology. So we've got also, so I have to give a score for the favorite film in the franchise. And you know what? I don't even know if I can. Oh, that's so difficult. But I will, geez. I don't even know which film to use. Um, I'll go with 92's Bram Stoker's Dracula because I remember when I first saw that was a really fun film, and Gary Oldman was amazing, Anthony Hopkins was amazing, Winona was amazing.
Yeah.
These
I mean, I
the
cried at the
soundtrack,
end of that movie.
yeah, you did.
See.
And we talked about it on the channel. That was actually one of our first streams that we did on the, and actually I don't even think it's on here anymore. I gotta see if I still have that in the archives, but it was one of the first streams that Coriander Kill and I did together.
Mhm.
One of the first times we were together talking about a movie, because this is Coriander's one of her favorite films of all time. So if I'm gonna give that a score, I love the movie. I'm gonna give it a 9. All right. Was that a good
Thanks.
score, hon? Okay.
That was great.
Okay.
Good job, babe.
There you go. And
Good job.
that quote is awesome. Rachel coming in with the quote of quotes. Crossed oceans of
Mhm.
time to find you. It's so cool though, the way he said it. And Eric is in the house and he has a great point, and it's so true. Dracula in The Last Voyage of the Demeter was a great version. He was scary in that, man. He was full-blown monster. That was a good film. It was a good film. Okay. Jeff saying, I've never seen Dracula Untold. Is that a movie worth watching? Actually, that is a film that I haven't seen either. It's been on my watch list forever too. My brother keeps telling me I gotta watch it though. So going by him, I would say yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Wow. First contact with Dracula was on the Nintendo with Castlevania. That's a great old school game. I loved that game growing up. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. You played that one too, Steven? That's awesome. All right. Very cool. And that's true too, man. We've got Fright Night as well. We've got the Lost Boys, different vampire lore.
You got
Ginger Ninja
Nicolas
saying
Cage.
Renfield. There you go. Good point, Sarah. You guys. Oh man, you guys are all right. Okay, let's go to our next spin. We're gonna go through another spin or two, and then we'll get ready to end up the stream. We've been going for a while, but time has just been flying by. All right, Sarah, this
I think-
is your spin.
We lost Steven.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did.
Oh, that's why I didn't hear back from him. Okay, hopefully he'll be coming back in.
Yeah,
Might have
probably
been-
just
might
an
have been his-
internet connectivity thing or something.
Yeah. Yep. Scott mentioning Frank and Langella was a pretty good Dracula. That's true. Yep. Ben saying Let Me In is my favorite vampire flick. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yes.
Can't forget about Leslie Nielsen. Huh?
Yeah, Steven was saying that earlier. He's like,
Oh,
wow,
shit, did he?
He did.
Little Dracula
He did.
dead and loving it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's funny.
All right, Sarah, we're gonna spin for you. We've only got a couple left. A handful left, I should say. Ooh, oh man.
Godzilla! No.
We had the King of the
Look
Kings,
who
the King of the Monsters.
you got.
Steven's
I
gonna
was
be so
hoping
disappointed.
for
He-
Godzilla.
He is going to be disappointed.
He is. Oh my gosh.
Maybe
Aw.
it's better that he doesn't hear my score.
Oh wow. Oh no. Really? Oh gosh. Okay. All right. So look,
Oh, that's
we're talking about John Carver from Thanksgiving. So Sarah, obviously there's only one film, so we're going to carry this over. So what do you want to give Thanksgiving for a score 1 to 10?
Like a 6. This movie was so, I don't know, just like mid. I don't know if it was because it was so hyped up for me that by the time I actually saw it, because I saw it probably like a week after it was already out in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, I don't know, it just like didn't do anything for me.
Wow. Okay. All right. Rachel said, "Who's John Carver from Thanksgiving, from the horror movie Thanksgiving that came out? What was it last year? Was it last year? It was last year, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so she hasn't seen it. Yep. Okay. Okay, so scare factor. You're in that situation and you got John Carver coming after you or whatever. What do you want to give for a point total for scare factor?
Yeah, I mean, he's like in the same vein as like Ben Willis or like a Cupid is probably the closest I can relate him to here, because I would
Mhm.
never put him on the same plane as Ghostface. Let's get that out of the way.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, if my friends and family were all dying, like that'd be terrifying, right? You're in a small town. You don't know who it is or why. Plus, like all of the other crazy stuff happening. He's got some brutal kills.
Yeah, they're very brutal kills, creative as well.
I would give him, I'll say 7.
Okay. All right, we got a 7. All right, Coriander, how about you?
How scary is he? I would probably taking up my family and shit. But
What was it? I didn't get all of that, Coriander. What was that? Uh-oh. You still there, Coriander? Can you hear me? Sarah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just messaging
Okay.
you. I didn't know if my internet was dropping or if it was
Okay.
Coriander's, but it sounds like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thank you. Because I was like, because when StreamYard does that, it's like you don't know if it's you that
Yeah.
can't be heard or if it's someone else. It really, that's one thing about StreamYard. I think they've got to do something for as an upgrade for for streaming, is because you don't know who is not coming through. Coriander, if you can hear us, oh, she might have jumped out and come back in. Okay, so let's try this. Hey.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All
Sounds
right.
good. And also, let
6.
me bring in Steven. Steven's here too.
Okay.
All right, so hey, Steven. So
Hey.
you're going to go with a 6?
Yes.
Okay,
Look
Good.
who popped up.
that's right. John
Yes.
Carver, man.
Just
Oh
in time.
man. Yeah.
All right. So, Steven, for scare factor, what do you want to give John Carver?
Oh man, dude. Let me tell you, we see what this guy can do in the movie, and yeah, maybe I have a little bit of bias because my friendship with Alex and now with Thomas, who plays the rest of the scenes. So, but even before that, I loved this movie from the first watch, and not that I told you how much I love the movie, and it was right there with Saw 10 for me for the
Mhm.
year. And so fear factor with him with that axe in his hand. Yeah, I mean I'm giving John Carver an 8.
Ooh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, and I really, really loved the film, and hopefully Coriander will come back because I wanted to ask her about it too. But, looking at Carver and kind of, thinking of him on the same lines as, some of our other,
Mm-hmm.
human slashers, whether it be Cupid or Ben Willis or, we've done some others. Again, it's a person, it's a man. They're human. They can be, hurt and tricked and so forth. So I think I gotta agree with you guys. I think I'm gonna go with a 6.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with a 6 because I think I could actually, I think I could do okay in that scenario. Coriander, are you back? Oh, maybe not.
I mean,
Okay.
and John Carver just so demented, man. I mean,
He was.
gosh, the whole Thanksgiving dinner, dude. I don't even.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Ben was saying I waited 15 plus years for Thanksgiving and I wasn't let down at all. I saw it 3 times in the
Mhm.
theaters and I own it on DVD. Yeah, for
Yeah.
any of us that had seen the fake trailer for
Yep.
Thanksgiving, during Grindhouse, man, I mean, first of all, there was a fun trailer that was so old school and so forth, and then to actually see it happen, and it was good. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of people waited a long time. Coriander, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you
Yes.
now.
All right.
Hey,
All
you're
It keeps
back.
kicking me out, man.
Well, yeah, it was a couple times when you came in and got kicked out and came in kicked out. What did you think of Thanksgiving, Coriander?
Me?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's
That's what I
good
remember you
to
saying.
have a Thanksgiving horror movie. I'm sure there
Right?
was, but it was pretty damn cheesy. What the hell
Yeah.
was that called again?
Blood Rage.
Cheese, yes.
That's
So
not cranberry sauce.
yeah, man. Anyway, this is an improvement, definitely. I
Huge
enjoyed it.
improvement.
Yes,
It's
I
miles
enjoyed it.
ahead. Yes.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick too in the chat, and very kindly too, Rachel coming in with a super
Aw.
chat saying some good vibes to keep the technical issues at bay. See, now that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying, Steven?
Yep.
Someone that knows the inner workings and is trying to come to the rescue, keep this thing going. That is what I'm talking about. And I'm being serious for real, Rachel. I really appreciate that and Rachel knows. I mean, she's done live streams a bunch of times herself as a content creator. You know, when you're doing a live stream, anything can happen, and usually it does. And when you're trying to run the stream and you got 5 windows open and you got whatever going on, but you're still trying to continue to keep doing what you're doing and try to make sense, it's not easy at all. And we've been live streaming for like 4 years, so it's not like we're not ham and egging it, Steven. You know what I'm saying? But
That's right.
to have someone jump in like that, like you did,
Yeah.
Rachel, I appreciate that. We appreciate that. So thank you.
Mhm.
Very, very kind of you. Let's do a quick clip for Rachel too. You know, it reminds me of how you can feel after getting a moment of being uplifted, and this is what it's like. There you
Oh my god. The
Nice.
candy cane snippers out already.
I'm so happy to see that.
There you go.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh man. All right. So Rachel, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And let's do this. Coriander, well actually no, and Steven's back too. Let's go one more for you guys, and that way it'll finish out the whole row. So we're gonna spend 2 more times. Coriander, you'll be next. And actually it works out great because you'll be number 54, and Steven, you'll be the 55th villain. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so that works out really nice. Rachel saying that was the first clip ever played for me on a super chat. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
And she remembers that too. That's awesome, man.
I
That is
know.
awesome. All right. So
Give me
Coriander,
something
we're gonna-
good.
well, hey man, I don't control
Come
it.
on,
So let's
man.
see what
I
happens,
know.
man.
I know.
It's putting the pressure on me. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh no, there goes
Godzilla.
Tokyo. Go.
Wow.
Godzilla.
Nice.
Sarah was hoping for that one, man. All right,
I
look.
know.
He's the king of the monsters, bro. I mean, like,
He
you know,
is.
what do
He
you
is.
think?
I mean, who doesn't love the old school Godzilla movies? I even had the tiny little figurines, right, that you could
Yeah.
collect from Bull Moose.
Mhm.
So for the franchise, I'm gonna give it an 8.
All right.
That's fair.
Nice. I'm digging that. Scare factor for Godzilla.
I mean, come on. He's huge. He's taken out cities.
Right.
I mean, if you can outrun or drive or fly to get away from this dude, then kudos to you. But
yeah.
I mean, Jesus, the scare factor. I'm gonna give him a 9.
Ooh, okay. All right. Very cool for one of the OG monsters of all time. Sarah, how about you? And if you wanted to say anything else, because I know you were hoping that you were going to land on that one.
I'll keep it short. All I'll say is that Godzilla -1 was my favorite movie of 2023. I think it's probably the best Godzilla movie ever made.
Yeah.
I laughed, I cried. It was so
Nice.
good. I was not expecting a Godzilla movie to be that good. Like, it blows like any of the recent ones out of the water. If you haven't seen it, just give it a chance. Like, you don't need to know anything about Godzilla or kaijus or know any of the lore. Just like buckle up and watch that movie. When you find out that it was made by like the smallest little crew on like no budget and they won an Oscar, like it's just so good. Anyway,
Agreed.
that's all I'll say because I could talk about that movie forever. But Yeah, scare factor. If I have a giant monster stomping through my city, like destroying everything, that's like 10 out of 10 scary.
Okay. Wow. We're getting respect on his name. All right. Steven, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I've always, I've always said I'm not a huge creature feature fan. Like I like some of them, but it's not my go-to by any means. But I will say this: Godzilla is something to be scared of. I mean, you got this fire-breathing, gigantic monster, lizard-like monster. I don't know what you call it. It's more like a dinosaur.
Mhm.
But whatever, this thing. Oh yeah, like Sarah said, man, it's huge, huge fear factor. But Coriander brought up a good point. If you can get into a vehicle, you can get away from it.
Mhm.
You can drive, you can get out of town,
Mhm.
and so for that reason, it brings it down a little bit for me. But if I'm in the city where it's being attacked, or that's being attacked rather, yeah, I'll say Godzilla deserves. Uh, I'll say a 9 out of 10. I'll give him a 9.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, this is definitely huge scare factor. I mean, because and see the other thing too, and Sarah hit it right on the nail. The other thing that some films don't really get into as much, um, especially the newer ones with the MonsterVerse. I mean, he's radioactive, so there's
Mm,
like
Yeah.
radiation fallout as well. Like if you're in a certain radius and you're not protected, you're done. Or at least you're going to be very sick and so forth, be diseased.
mm.
So there's a lot going on with Godzilla. I gotta agree, man. I'm gonna go with a 10 on this one. It's just crazy. No doubt at all. No doubt at all. All right, Coriander, how about your favorite film in the Godzilla franchise, and what's the score you want to give it 1 to 10? I have a feeling which one you're going to say it is, but let's see what you say.
Well, obviously the newest one, -1.
There it is.
That was like, wow.
Wasn't it
I'm.
though?
It
Can we
was.
let's just take a second on this. That
I'm
movie
gonna
was
watch it tonight before I go
amazing.
to bed.
Sarah,
Right.
Sarah, real quick, Sarah, what made you watch it? Just being a fan of Godzilla in general, or did you hear stuff about -1?
Like, I'd seen some of the other Godzillas, like the
Mhm.
Matthew Broderick one and
Yeah.
like one of the newer ones, but I was never like a really big fan. He always just like existed in like the zeitgeist of creature features.
Right.
But I just kept hearing people like rave about it and rave about it. And then
Mhm.
it just like popped up on streaming one day and I was like, I'm just gonna watch it. I've
Mhm.
probably seen it 8 or 9 times. Like, I love
Wow.
it. I love it.
Yeah. Nice. That's very cool. Well, Coriander, I know we loved it a lot, and
Hmm.
you even said you wanted to watch it again right after we had finished. And I was like, wow. I mean, she really loves this movie. It was like you said, the full emotions. What's the score you want to give it on a 1 to 10?
I mean, for a creature movie, it's like, and the effects. I mean, it's like, wow. I'm gonna give it the big one all the way.
A 10?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. Godzilla has 3 10s. That's crazy. Awesome. The king of the monsters, man. That's awesome.
Mm, mm.
All right. He has been respected. Troy's in the house too. What's up? What's up? Yeah, if you guys haven't seen -1, whoo, wow. Oh, wow. But Super Tenor wasn't a fan. Saying, am I the only one who got bored with -1?
Hmm.
Wow. Godzilla is like a side character. Well, see, I look at it the total opposite way. I think that the thing about Godzilla, like in the newer movies, and I enjoy them for popcorn fun, right? They're fun. They're big, dumb fun. But they made Godzilla, more into like almost like a you're rooting for him. He's a hero. It's like, yeah, go get him, Godzilla. You know what I mean? like -1 brought it back to like he's a force of nature. You don't want to be anywhere near him. But the story, the character story was so compelling to me, and I think that's what made it so amazing when there was havoc. Like you really felt it. Like that's how I took it.
really cared about the main character and this
Yeah.
like little family he'd made. Like it was really more like a movie about like the impact of the war, and Godzilla was like also there. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, I just loved it. There's something about it that was just like different than the others.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed, man. And by the way, just to remind folks, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us. We'd appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna spin one more time. Steven, we're gonna spin for you.
All right.
We're gonna see who we end up with here. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Final villain. It's gonna
Oh,
happen.
Oh, look,
Oh,
Kenny, it was close, man. It was close.
It was
And now
close.
we got a more modern king of monsters, so to speak, the Xenomorph from Alien, and we just saw
Wow.
Willis today.
and no
I'm not-
Yeah, we did.
spoilers.
And I'm not saying
Anybody in the
anything.
chat, no spoilers as we're talking
right.
about the Xenomorphs, please. I haven't
Yes.
seen
Yeah.
Romulus yet.
No spoilers at all. No spoilers at all. Okay,
Mhm.
so Steven, when we talk about the franchise score for the Xenomorph, what's the score you want to give it?
Man, I mean, again, not the biggest creature, alien kind of guy, but when it comes to it, this is how we do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wow, that's right. Much respect for the Xenomorphs. So, in terms of the franchise, right? I'm going to give it.
Yes, franchise.
Yeah, man. I'm going to give the overall franchise. I'm going to give it an 8 overall.
Okay.
And I
All
haven't
right.
seen the new one either, so
Yep.
just came
All
out.
right. So we've got an 8 for the franchise. Now, how about the scare factor?
Oh, dude. It's a 9.
Okay. All right. We got a
Yeah.
9. And your favorite film in the franchise, or the one that you like the most, or what have you, what would that be for a score, 1 to 10?
It's gonna be Aliens. It's gonna be the second movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I will give it a ranking of an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Scott saying franchise is a 4. Wow.
Oh,
What? When you factor in Alien and Aliens? Oh, he says that, but the
Man.
best film are both 11. Or you mean 1? Oh, 11. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Sarah, how about you? Scare factor for the Xenomorph.
I'm gonna have to give them a 10. I was thinking about a 9, but then I realized I'm like, even if you manage to like wound or kill one of them, you're still
Mhm.
running a high chance you're getting splashed with acid blood, and that's terrifying.
Oh,
There you
So it's
go.
just
Good for
true.
you,
Yeah,
man.
it's a 10.
Deep
Yeah.
cut. You go, Sarah. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'd want to run into one of these things, let
Right?
alone try to kill it and do it and survive. And yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 also.
All right. This let me just hold on. This is one of those situations where it's pretty easy for me as well. It's got to be a 10. I mean, we've seen these films. We've seen colonial marines get their ass kicked. Okay? And they fought, creatures all over the universe and stuff like that. So, it's a scary situation, and like you said, Sarah, even if you can wound it, it's got acid for blood. I mean, it's just crazy how durable they are.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to get into the chest bursters. That's a whole other level of scary.
Right. Great point. Because with the Xenomorph, I mean, you're talking about the chest burster. You've got the regular xenomorphs. You've got the queen. I mean, so you've got multiple stages that you could be dealing with. So cool. All right, so we have got the xenomorph down. That was our 55th villain, and we still have we still have a few left, man. That is crazy.
Mhm.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. For you guys in the chat, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun, and going through these with you guys is what really makes it so much fun, because we get to have this conversation, and you can hear everyone's thoughts and stuff like that. It just makes it really cool. It really, really does. Real quick to the chat. Thank you so much, Rachel. We appreciate that. Seriously. Great stream as always, guys. Well, we had a blast doing this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So again, for you guys, if you could make sure you hit the like button, it helps us out. But also leave us a comment. Let us know some of your scoring in the comment section. We couldn't get to everyone. That's absolutely impossible to do. But we can continue the conversation in the comments. You guys know I like to jump in there with you guys, and plus you guys get the chance to chat with each other as well. We got to 56 likes. Thanks, Sarah. We appreciate that. And Jeff,
Nice.
thank you as well. All of you guys, and especially all the gifted memberships, Jeff and Rachel, and all you guys that did chats. We appreciate that. It really helps us out. Seriously. We couldn't thank you guys enough. Pierre, thank you so much. Have a good night, and
Yeah.
we'll catch you next time. We've got our announcement stream on Sunday. That's going to be a lot of fun, so definitely keep your eyes open. We'll be doing that here on Sunday evening, and Steven will be doing that on his channel as well. So definitely make sure you have your notification bell on. And as always, too, make sure if you're not subscribed to Steven, make sure you guys are doing that. Craving Something Scary. We've had the link in the chat, and we also have the link in the description. So make sure you guys do that. I think I covered everything there. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. I think that's it. All right. And thanks, Alan. We appreciate you. Seriously. All right, guys. Well, we will catch you guys next time. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Okay.
See ya.